I've had a lot of students who come to me and tell me, Arun, this is my accuracy. You know what? First of all, accuracy is a terrible metric. And I'll tell you why. Let us say there are two students, A and B. Okay. So GMAT algorithm is going to get you started at a particular level. Let us say it's 600. The questions that you get right, it can move you up. Questions you get them wrong, it will move you down. If you keep consistent pace, it will keep you at that level. Think about it this way. If you get more than 60% of the questions right, you will be promoted to the next bucket. If you get less than 40% of the questions right, you will be demoted to a lower bucket. And if you get anywhere between 40 to 60%, GMAT will keep you in the same level. So let us assume that there are 600 to 650 level. There is a 650 to 700 level. There is a 700 to 750 level. And finally, there is a 750 to 800 level. Now, let us say that there is a first, let's take verbal, okay? I'm just going to give you the example of verbal. So let us say that the first set of 6 questions, A answers 3, A answers 4, B answers 3. Now, A, because, and A and B both start at this bucket, right? Now, because of this, A has gotten into the next bucket. B remains in the same bucket. Because for the first 6 questions, the average of B is 50%, but A has moved up to 2 by 3, correct? 66%. Now, the next string of 8 questions, B consistently is getting 4, but this time A gets 6 of them right. What will happen? A will get promoted again to the next bucket, whereas B is consistent, is in that bucket. Now, let us say that the next set of 10 questions, right? B gets 5 of them right, again 50% accuracy, whereas A gets 6 of them right. So what happens? A just manages to scrape through to the final bucket. And the final bucket, 18, 20, so the final bucket of 12 questions, correct? Both A and B get 6 questions right, which is both of them have done 50%. So let's now calculate. How many questions did A get right? 22 questions. How many did B get right? 18. What is the difference? Just 4 questions. But what is the difference in the score? Maybe a difference between a 620 and a 760. Right? So what is important for you to know is, don't worry, don't come and tell, I got 18 out of 36 right or 22 out of 36 right. What is also important is the position of the mistake, where you make it. Because think about it, let's look at the last set of 12 questions. Do you know what is happening here? B has it easy. B is having to maintain 50% accuracy at a 600 level, whereas A had to maintain the same 50% accuracy at a 750 level, a lot harder. So that is what GMAT is rewarding you for, correct? Now, the reason I'm telling you this is the questions in this bucket and the questions in this bucket are going to be different, correct? As far as GMAT is concerned, the questions are going to be different, right? So how does this translate into your GMAT score, GMAT percentile? Now, what happens is, at the end of whatever I told you, you will get for quant and for verbal, you will get what is called as a raw score. This raw score will be out of 51. Okay, don't worry about the 800 score, just worry about getting a high raw score, which means if you get more questions right, and if you are able to manage to, kind of keep that consistency, GMAT will reward you by giving you a higher score. That is what we need to know.